Welcome to the Alchemeister's Records. This time, we'll craft a dessert to inspire and refresh. This treat was created from a prayer to the sun god, patron of all artists and youth, Apollo. Long ago, in ancient Greece, Apollo, the god of the sun, bestower of prophecies and patron of all artists, received a prayer from a young baker. Tired of the ordinary treats common at the time, they wanted to create a delicious new dessert. Apollo took special interest in the young baker's desire to innovate. He gathered the Muses and commanded them to aid the baker in the creation of the dessert. The first step to craft the golden sun Chariot tart is to transmute the sunset amber syrup. In a saucepan, add 2 tablespoons of sugar crystals and the juice of 2 sunset oranges. Bring to a boil and keep reducing the liquid until the syrup starts to thicken. The Muses concluded that the dessert must be inspired by Apollo, as his love for the arts and those who pursue them was the reason the prayer was heard. The Muses summoned the Dryads and asked them to turn into trees that bore fruit resembling Apollo. The Dryads agreed to their request. One became a slender tree that bore sunlight-colored fruit, its fragrance sharp and refreshing. The other became a tall, robust tree that produced spheres of sunset light with a sweet and pleasant aroma. Once the syrup starts to stick to the spatula, turn off the heat. Add the zest of the sunset oranges and mix. Separate into 2 portions and set aside until it's time to let the sun sink into the tart. For the shell, begin by combining the ground almonds and flour in a food processor. Run it for a few seconds to combine all the dry ingredients. Next, add the cold butter and run the processor for a few more seconds until the mixture takes on a yellowish color and forms small chunks of golden sand. Finally, add the sunset amber syrup and 1 teaspoon of sunset orange juice. Run the processor for a few minutes until a golden paste forms. Open the processor, push the paste together once and run it again. Roll out the sun pastry and fit it into a tart tin. The Muses pleased with the Dryad's work, began to weave an oracle for the baker. They bestowed upon the baker a dream in which sunlight spheres hung from trees. The baker woke up energized and ventured into the forest. Before long, they found the sunlight-colored fruit and began testing how to confection the noble treat. As this pastry is quite delicate, if you encounter difficulties with the pastry breaking while lifting it from the mat, simply press it together in the tin. Use a fork to make holes in the pastry in the pattern of the sun to let the air escape and ensure that air pockets won't form beneath the pastry while baking. Once the chariot is built, we'll transmute the sunlight custards to write in it to the heavens and bring down an inspiration to our souls. For the down custard, in a bowl over bain-marie, heat the sunlight lemon juice. Add the sugar crystals, eggs, and sunlight zest, whisking to combine them in a harmonious melody. Then add the soft butter, grated gold ginger, and pure white cornstarch. Whisk to combine. Keep whisking, scraping the walls and bottom until the custard starts to thicken. Once it has glorious sunlight color and creamy consistency, remove from the heat and let cool. For the sunset custard, repeat the same process as the down custard. However, we will add the sunset amber syrup at the end, as the sunset orange essence will not allow the custard to thicken properly. The sun rose and sank several times until the baker's quest bore success. The tart was as bright as sunlight, and its aroma was as refreshing as a late spring breeze. Crowned with sun wheels, a symbol of the sun god, it was named the Golden Sun Chariot in honor of Apollo. The tart was offered to Apollo's temple as a sign of gratitude and devotion, which Apollo shared with the Muses and Dryads as a reward for their magnificent work. As the custards are already cooked, we need to blind bake the Chariot tart shell first, meaning we will bake it once without the filling. Cut a piece of parchment paper roughly the size of the tart tin, crumple it and extend it. Place it over the pastry and fill the tin with baking weights like dry beans or rice. Bake the Chariot tart shell for 10 to 12 minutes in the holy fire oven at 160 Celsius until the fragrant sunset orange aroma fills the room. Remove from the holy fire chamber and let it cool. Once the Chariot is ready to depart and our sun custards have cooled, it is time for them to board the heavenly carriage. Pour the custards into the Chariot shell, mix them together and spread evenly. Lastly, crown the custard with some sunlight lemon slices to symbolize the image of the god this treat originated from. Bake it again in the holy fire chamber for another 10 minutes or until the custard looks firm and shines bright like glorious holy light. At last, it's time to enjoy the holy radiance of this refreshing and inspiring tart, shining light into our souls, awakening creativity, and lighting the path to a delicious life. For more mystical and delicious meals, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Until the next record, alchemy will light your path to a delicious life.